Yeah, I'm talking about initially. What do women do during?
Flirt.
Hold on. What do women do during the initial stages to move things forward?
They flirt.
What do women do during the initial stages to move things forward?
I get
What
to know the
What
person.
do you want us to do? Like,
They flirt.
You don't do anything.
I should
Y'all
tell.
do. Y'all don't.
we
do
provide emotional
anything.
support. We like make
Really?
you
On the
look
first
good.
date?
Yes, men look good when you're on a date with a good-looking
guys
woman.
don't give a
yeah,
fuck.
you
Oh my
guys
God.
give a fuck about what your friends think of you. Yes, you do.
No, we don't.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't. Let me ask you a question. If you could be you're dealing with a guy, do you think he'd rather go out to dinner with you or just have you come over immediately and fuck?
If we're dating, it depends on the situation.
You meet the guy and he's like, do you think he'd rather go out on a nice date with you and be seen and, oh my God, all these other people that I'll never see again, they see me with this hot chick? Or would they prefer for you to just come over, nobody sees it, and then you have sex with him?
If he just wants to have
calls.
sex, then it's gonna just be that. But
Not
if he's
necessarily.
looking
He could want a
for
relationship.
Then
He-
he's going to want to go through that process to get to know someone.
No, not really.
It depends on what they want.
Not really.
Can I
It does.
comment?
Yeah, what's up?
I mean, I think I disagree with your opinion because, like I said, like when we first started, like that guy from Dubai, like he paid me $7,000 to just like make an appearance, and I think
That's different though.
how is that different? He wanted to be seen with
Those,
a pretty
I mean,
girl.
when you're dealing with that level of wealth, that's not like genuine. That's not genuine dating dynamics.
And it wasn't a date. Like he literally just wanted to go to the club with me.
Yeah, that's something entirely different.
Oh, okay.
That's something entirely different.
And some men enjoy the company of women. Like
Sure, I
enjoy
don't dispute that.
having a conversation with us and like getting to know. There are men who enjoy that. Like to say like, oh, just come over and have sex. It's like, yeah, that's part of it. But like I know men that want to go slower in that sense because they
Sure.
enjoy getting to know women. So it just depends
Sure.
on who it is.
Yeah, that's true. But this idea that men want to go on a date with you so that they can be seen with you,
Yes.
that's not, maybe that's how y'all think.
I think they like the comparison. Like if someone's masculine and you're with someone who's feminine and like is dressed nice and
Bro.
the way it complements a man's masculinity. There are men who
I
enjoy
I
that.
don't give a
felt
fuck.
that way.
Hold on. I don't give a fuck what some strangers who I'm never going to see again think about me. Oh, I'm at some fucking restaurant. There's a bunch of other people at the restaurant and first off, they don't give a fuck about who I'm on it. They don't care. Like, have you ever been to a restaurant and you're like, wow, I'm really invested in that person sitting all the way over there? And really? Has that ever crossed your mind?
There's couples that'll catch your eye if you feel like they look nice.
Okay,
together.
sure, you could acknowledge that somebody's good looking or attractive, but are you particularly invested in that other person? So why is I don't care what other people think. They don't care about me either. Why should I care?
There are men who care.
Why,
Yeah,
why
that's
do you,
weird.
Do you want a date or not want a date?
Huh?
Why do you go on a date? Or do you just not want
When
to
was
go on a
your
date?
last date?
I feel like at the end of the day, people are just trying to get laid, and everyone has different standards of what they would like before they get laid.
Sure, but again, I'm just confused. Okay, look. You said chivalry. Should women dress modestly?
If they can dress however they want.
Okay, so men shouldn't pay for first dates.
Wait, I kind of just want to know, like,
And
what-
you should go 50-50 on all the rest of your first dates. You should insist, no, I want to pay for this. And not just an empty gesture. You should insist that you go 50-50.
Sure, you like it, I love it.
Yeah, but you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. What's up?
Oh, I'm just curious, like when you take girls out on a date, is it like are you guys get to know each other first already, or is it like a stranger on a date? And do you like want to pay or do you not want to pay? Like how do you
Yeah, sure. I mean,
if
I've
you're
had
gonna
different periods of my life. I don't think this specific period right now would be a
Yeah.
good example, but like perhaps prior to when I started this podcast and
Yeah.
I was meeting people on dating apps or meeting people organically, I would.
And I
It
think,
was.
yeah. I think a guy knows. Like you would probably
mean-
know, like when, like oh, I'm not.
I'm not a great example though because my previous. So now if I'm dating a girl, I'm paying.
Why is that?
It's just one. It's the most optimal thing, and it's just.
But, like, why?
That's the dynamic that
Because
I
men
want.
with money don't worry about these
Not
things.
just that, but it's just like if
And
you
then-
don't like a girl,
but,
you won't pay
but
for
before,
it. Yeah.
But before, I had a principle where I was like, okay, I'm meeting these girls on dating apps. I'll know who they're dealing with. So my new standard is, I'm only going to be extending this if she's only dealing with me.
Yeah.
I'm not paying a first date for a girl who's got a sneaky link and she's talking to 10 different dudes. But I've been, for example, I was on a date, this was a couple years ago, date with this girl, met her on a dating app. She tells me on the date, I got 5 dates planned.
Yeah, then you know, like, okay, I'm not.
I mean,
Why the
that's a
fuck am I gonna
great
pay for a girl that's
100%.
dealing with other dudes and fucking other dudes?
Yeah.
It's a wrap. I don't want to deal with women who are dealing with other men. If I know that you're just dealing with me,
Yeah.
then I'm prepared to step into my
And
role.
that's 'cause,
But
like, you want to, right?
but I don't even want to. I don't want to date. I don't want anything to do. Like you guys might think I'm crazy.
No.
She could be the hottest girl ever.
Yeah.
You guys might call me crazy. She could be the hottest girl ever. If she's sexually involved with another man, I don't want
Yeah,
anything. She
that's
could be
not
begging
crazy.
to have sex with
Yeah,
me.
that's not
She
crazy
could be
at all.
begging to have sex with me. The hottest girl in the world. If she fucked a guy last night, don't want anything to do with her.
That's valid. You have self-respect for yourself.
I like that.
Don't want anything. I
So
want.
even a guy has a choice is the thing. Like if you don't have to pay, of course. Maybe a girl would be like, oh my god, you have to pay. But you know the conversation, the flow, whether or not you're gonna pay for a woman based on how she's acting and who she
Sure.
is. You don't have to pay.
Sure.
But then you get to decline. But it's just if you genuinely like a girl, you would want to pay. That's just a gesture for you, right?
Yeah, sure. Just
Yeah,
because
that's all. Because if guys are paying for girls that are doing that, it's like
Yeah,
she's doing
I
it,
think
you
it's the
know?
most optimum thing for men to do.
yeah. When
But
they
if
really
we're
like
having
girl.
a conversation, if we're just like looking at it with a bird's eye view,
Yes.
women aren't traditional. Women don't uphold any of their own duties when it comes to chivalry. So we're not expecting women to be chivalrous towards us. But should you have a low body count? Should you dress modestly? Should you be traditional? Yes. So y'all are modern women, but you want men to be traditional. We have a sex worker here. She says she wants guys, she's submissive, that's great, cook, clean,
I
whatever.
don't really like the label sex worker. It makes me sound like a too, which I do not think I am.
OnlyFans girls are sex workers.
I
I mean,
don't
I'm
think
not saying
so.
I'm not saying that you're on the street offering up
That's
for
like
$50.
what it's to me. Like sex worker is really vulgar, but
It is within the umbrella of sex work. I'm not calling you a prostitute, I'm calling you a sex worker.
okay. Well, your other guy called me.
Well, he has a different position on this. But look, how,
Can I say?
just one thing. How can it be like y'all want men to be traditional? Where are the traditional women?
But you are
At
dating
church.
these women who don't have.
I'm not
those
asking
values.
where.
Yeah.
They're
Sorry,
at
go ahead.
church, they're at Charlie Kirk meetings. I'm talking, there's 1,000 classy, younger women.
No. Hold on. I'm not literally. It was a rhetorical question. I'm not literally asking where are they geographically located. I'm saying you have the most liberal, progressive, feminist women who still demand men act traditionally, pay for dates, do all this stuff, and y'all are modern women. Why should men be traditional when y'all are modern? Explain it.
I would say I'm pretty traditional, and therefore.
Sure,
Okay.
but what about her? So she's posting thirst traps on Instagram.
Okay.
She dresses revealing.
Okay.
I'm not going to make a criticism of that.
Okay.
But it is what it is. That is not traditional.
Yeah, and then
It's not traditional. Then why should you demand traditional treatment from men?
I mean, maybe she doesn't demand it, but look, that she just has men who want to do that for her.
Yeah, she
No, so-
manifested.
And
So, look-
we're not asking like men to do it, but it's just like if she like. they
That's
like
just
it.
like
Sure.
how.
So I agree with you that women, because men do what works. And so paying for your meal, that's better than going 50-50. Like that's just optically better. I agree with you that men still do this shit. Men will still be traditional because women respond to it and women still want it despite all the feminist programming that all of y'all have received, all the feminism, all the liberalism, all of modernity. You want to live you want to be the most modern women possible, but you still, because it's the natural order of things, you like men to be traditional. You like it, you respond to it. Even on an intellectual level, you're like, nah, I don't care about that shit. If a guy pays, if a guy's a leader, if a guy's assertive, if he's a lead, all these positive traditional masculine characteristics, you still want it, but you're not holding up your end of the bargain. Now you still get it because men are pressed for pussy. Men still want to fuck you. But when it comes to commitment and relationship, long-term commitment, men start to like just keep you around for sex.